Hello, everybody. Welcome. You know, life is all about walking by faith each and every day of our lives. And life is so short. I mean, can't believe right now is already the end of October, soon to be within a month, Thanksgiving, just right around the corner. It is so hard to believe. And there's so much beauty in life that we can choose to see as long as we keep our eyes fixed and focused on God and walk by faith each and every day to enjoy the abundant life that Christ has given to each and every one of us. Sometimes all the things that has happened in our past may not all be good, may not be all roses or shining. They may be so much hurt, and many of us may have been wounded and scarred in many ways. And we don't see it in our flesh, but something within our mind that we hold on to it, that is hard for us to let go, in our heart that has been broken, torn, tattered. Some of the things may have been, we may have felt abandoned by a friend, a family, a father, a mother, our spouse. It can be anybody. We could have had many times of feeling resentful with our loved ones or our friends. And it's just so hard to just forgive the people that has hurt us in our past one way or another. It's just so hard for us to let go of any type of tragedies and traumas that may have happened in our past. I know that I've shared in my previous videos. I didn't ask to be sexually molested when I was just a 9-year-old girl from a stranger when I was walking home from school one day. And I didn't ask to feel abandoned when I was a teenager also by my father, not knowing that he was studying so hard at Fuller Seminary, to become a pastor. But as a teenage girl, always having that close relationship with my father, abruptly, I felt abandoned for years. Where did Dad go all of a sudden? Emotionally, he was just not there anymore. So therefore, I got into bad relationships with my ex-boyfriends. I call them psychos. And it was very toxic. And many other things that has happened to me, I didn't ask for it. Life happens. We make our choices and we try to do the best we can. But many times in our wounded state, we make a lot of unconscious poor choices that can have a rippling effect that can cause us ultimately. It can cause hurt to us and to hurt to people around us as well. And if anything, it just prevents us to know our heavenly, wonderful Father who never abandons us, who promises to never leave us or forsake us, who loves us so dearly, who just has our name tattooed in the palm of his hands, who just takes care of us and wants the best for us and wants us to live the best life possible in and through him, to walk the path of righteousness and to just praise and glorify God, our Heavenly Father, in all that we do. I have a friend that her father has full-blown Alzheimer's right now at a very young age in the late 60s. And we just had a memorial service for his mother. And he would forget things instantly. He would forget when he ate, so he's constantly eating. They would have to close up and put a lock at the refrigerator. And at this memorial service, they were driving to the location, and she was asked the father, "Do you know where we're going?" And he said, "No." We said, "Because your mother passed away, we're going to a memorial service for her. Do you know when your mother passed away?" And she passed away 6 years ago. But he just said, 30 minutes ago? He was clueless. And even after the beautiful memorial service, we all went out to have lunch. She would lean over and ask her dad, "Dad, do you know what we just did this morning?" He says, "Nothing." He was clueless. But here is this man who has Alzheimer's, and he is truly living in the present moment. In the present, he forgot everything about his past, sadly, with his Alzheimer's disease. But can you imagine yourself living in the present moment and not harboring all of the past traumas, all your past resentment, unforgiveness, hurts, whatever it may be, and always feeling that you might be in that victimized mentality, having that loser's limp, having excuses. Why are you living the way you are living today? Why are you making the poor choices you are making today? Some of us may not be in our right mindset, whatever it may be, but when we have that peace and walking in the path of righteousness, focusing our attention upon our Heavenly Father, knowing we are His beloved children, how beautiful is that? And I am here to remind you, you are so worthy and so valuable in God's eyes. He wants you to enjoy your life to the fullest today, to live in this present moment, because life is very, very short. I like to share with you this verse from Psalm 90, verse 12. And it says, "Teach us to number our days, that we may gain a heart of wisdom." Wouldn't that be great? Just to make smart, good choices, to gain that heart of wisdom. Teach us to number our days. Life is so short. It is passing by so fast. The holidays are coming up. It is crazy. It is crazy. But let us learn to let go of any of the past that is just preventing us from moving forward in our lives to enjoy it to the fullest today. Let us make new good memories today if there's so many hurts from your relationship with your spouse, or hurts with friendships that has just been toxic, or anything that has been preventing you to move forward. Just take off that big heavy load that's on your shoulders and become weightless. Be free, liberated to walk. Pick up your mat and walk and move forward. If you feel like you're blinded, you're crippled in any way, listen to Jesus' command. Like I shared before in one of my stories, when Jesus went to Jerusalem and he came across this invalid crippled man, and he was like that for 38 years. And Jesus said to that man, he asked him, "Do you want to get well?" And the man says, he came up with excuses. There was a nearby pool that got stirred by an angel. And when you go into that pool, you will be healed. So many of the sick people came to that pool of Bethesda in Jerusalem to be healed. But when Jesus asked that man once again, "Do you want to be healed?" He says, "Nobody has helped me to go into that pool." He came up with excuses. Jesus says, "Pick up your mat right now and walk." And so that man obeyed Jesus' word. He chose to pick up his mat, and he was healed instantly, and he was able to walk and move forward in his life and live and walk in the life of righteousness. I encourage you, choose to live in your life and walk in the path of righteousness today. I also had a meeting with my father years ago, 5 years ago or so. And I asked him this question: "Dad, you're at your older age now, and I'm curious. May I ask you a question? What do you regret in your past? And what do you feel that you accomplished in your life?" Because I look up to my father, and he has accomplished many different things in his life. The list goes on. And his response to me, he leaned over and he says, "The past is the past. That's it. End of story." I said, "Okay, that was that, period." And then he says, "My greatest accomplishment is to take care of your mother, because my mother is mentally ill. She's been like this for many, many years. But for him to be her 24-hour nurse and just to see and make her happy as can be, that is his biggest accomplishment at this time in his life." I thought those words of encouragement was so beautiful and so priceless. And I encourage you today, if somebody was to ask you, what do you regret in your past? And what is your accomplishment today? What would your answer be? Something to think about and to ponder. I pray that you may let go once again. Anything that was in your past that hinders you from walking forward. Don't come up with any more excuses. Do not give in to the loser's limp. And don't be like that invalid crippled man. Always come up with excuses. Nobody is there to help me go into the pool of Bethesda and be healed. Just be obedient to God and His word today and choose to live and walk in the life of righteousness. So let us just move forward, live this abundant life, and just know that God is with us. He'll never leave us or forsake us, and that we can live that abundant, beautiful life that Jesus came to give all of us. Let us relish and live in this present moment today and not be so worried and consumed with fear and anxiety about our future, for we never know what can happen tomorrow. Let us enjoy fully all the loved ones around you and your job and your passions in life and just the simplicity and the beauty and the joy of this life that God has given to us. Let us choose to fixate our mind on all that is good. Renew our mind today so it may be refreshed, that we may be liberated, and to be able to walk in that path of righteousness. Enjoy your life to the fullest, because remember, the days are short, and let us gain that heart of wisdom today. God bless you, and I'll see you next week. Goodbye.